I want to talk to you guys today about equity versus debt. Why equity is king and cash is dying. And one of the big things is, I remember when I first opened up in business and I started actually doing really well back in the late 90s. And I always walked around with about $800 to $1,000 in my pocket all the time, always in cash. And it was because that's what made me feel wealthy, is to walk around, have cash, have expenditures. And anywhere I went, I could break a $100 bill. It was very easy to utilize. And I always had a pocket full of cash. And today I pull out a $100 bill and people look at me like I'm from outer space, because to break a $100 bill in today's day and age is extremely hard. Most people are paying on debit cards and credit cards, right? So we run around with almost no cash in our pockets, with the exception of, a few people or a few bucks in our pocket. We walk around with a little insurance policy to have a few dollars in our pocket. But today I really want to talk to you guys about equity, and here's why. One of the big things in life is that cash is no longer king. Equity in something is king. And that's why I love real estate, owning the equity in something, because really, like, you look around and you look at the homes we live in, the cars we drive, and everything that we do, and really making a living is pretty damn simple. It's not really complicated. It doesn't cost a lot of money to live. Now, creating wealth, on the other hand, is more challenging. And the reason it's more challenging is because a lot of what we're learning in school doesn't teach us the difference between equity and debt. And so what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is the difference between equity and debt. So not the debt that you incur when you go out and use your credit card, which is bad debt, but the debt that you take on to be able to generate cash back on your money. And so for sake of example, you go to the stock market, you invest money into the stock market, and they pay you back a percentage of what that stock either goes up or goes down. Now, when you own a piece of that, though, as it grows with you. If you get paid back dividends, you're getting paid back in regards to the amount of money that you have invested in there and the amount of dividend shares that you purchased and that were offered at the time that you purchased that stock. Now, when I go in and I'm doing investments, one of the things that's created more wealth for us in net worth than anything is the fact that we've taken down everything that we own in equity. And so sometimes we're offered to be able to lend people money in return for debt. And then there's other times we're offered to lend people money in return for equity in a business. So if you look back at the way things were done back in the day, most people, like celebrities, would go in, they would get endorsements from Gatorade and Nike and all these other different large name brands, and in return they'd get a paycheck for them showing up. Now what's happening is that a lot of these celebrities have gotten wise, and they're saying, you know what, I don't want a paycheck today. I'd rather take a percentage of your company. So you take people like 50 Cent, who goes in, Vitamin Water comes in and offers him a contract to be able for him to go out and endorse Vita Water. And instead of going in and getting a paycheck, he said, why don't I just take like 3 or 4% of Vita Water, and in return, I get equity in the business. Hence, he's made millions upon millions of dollars, and it's ongoing residual income. And so the reason equity is king over cash one-time payday is because if you go in and you take equity in something, you own a piece of it. And so over the course of the last 2 years, I've been doing business and working in partnership with Dr. Alex Mehr and Ty Lopez. And one of the big moves that's been made over the last couple years is the fact that they've acquired Dressbarn, Pier 1 Imports, Radio Shack, Linen and Things, the Book Guys. We have Mentor Box. We have all these brands, right? Model Sporting Goods, the Franklin Mint. There's all of these companies that have been purchased, and every time they come in and say, "Hey, Jerome, do you want equity in the business, or do you want to come in on your money and we just pay you back debt, 20% on my money?" Which is great. When you think about 20%, you think great, but then I sit back and go, "Damn, they're picking up these companies, picking them up for a few $1 million. You're talking billion-dollar brands, right? Brands that are worth billions and billions of dollars. In fact, I sit here and I see all my file folders right here that say Pier 1 Imports, Model Sporting Goods, Retail E-commerce Ventures, the Franklin Mint, online. All my LLCs Right here, baby. Equity. And here's why. Because we took billion-dollar brands, American brands that hundreds of years worth of, they have hundreds of years cumulative of business and branding and marketing. And you pick those brands up for a marginal fraction of their value, just a few $1,000,000. The upside potential is huge. So I could go in over the course of 5, 10 years and make 20% on my money. And then in 5, 10 years from now, it's gone. All of it's gone. I get paid back. Now, where do you park that money? I park it back in real estate, but most people would spend it. It would evaporate. And so what I go in and do is say, you know what? I want a piece of this business. I want equity. I want to own a percentage of every dollar that I buy into on every one of these brands. Because if I buy something that values at the time for $25 million and it goes up to a $4 billion brand, my money has duplicated 100-fold on what I actually purchased. So equity is king, and it pays you forever. So here's the thing. The problem is most people are not taught this in school. And unfortunately, we're not taught, our education system is not set up to teach you this in school. And the reason that I talk to you guys about this is because I was very fortunate at a very young age to be able to have mentors that taught me about passive residual income. They said, Jerome, when you can invest in something that in spite of your efforts will grow, that's how you get wealthy in life. And so at a young age, I was taught to go out and let my money and my efforts work to build something that I never had to work again. You guys ever heard the parable about teach a man to fish? Give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And so when I'm talking about equity, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because we could give you a fish every Friday, okay? A fish being your paycheck. You go to work, you work all week long. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, paycheck. Then you go back, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, paycheck. You go back on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you get a fish, okay? That fish feeds you for that week, okay? Or we could teach you how to take all that money that you get on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and invest it in something with equity, like real estate, where you could go in and park that cash. And here's what's cool. If you do the job thing and you go in and do the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday paycheck, the paycheck you get is taxed. You go in and the federal government, you fill out what's called a W-4. And that W-4 is what tells the government how many dependents you have and what your tax bracket is. So that way the federal government gets their money in advance before you file your taxes at the end of the year. And then they give you whatever is left over after you pay all your taxes. What I'm telling you guys is, what if you go out, you work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and you went in and you parked that money into a business, into a piece of real estate, which is a business. And now you have the tax benefits of being self-employed. Now, I'm not telling you to go quit your job, okay? Because when you go, what happens is you can go in, and you need multiple streams of income. But like I said earlier, it doesn't take a lot of money. It doesn't take a lot of affluency to make a living. Making a living is easy. You know, life is actually pretty easy. I've never seen, even the homeless people that we have in America, some of them are obese on the side of the road, right? So there's no shortage of food in America. There's no shortage of the ability to live. You know, yes, there are circumstances like drugs and external mental illness and external circumstances that puts people to be homeless. But the mass majority of people, it's really not that complicated to put a roof over your head and food in your stomach. So if you're able to go out, and if you do have your 9-to-5 job and you work to the end of the week, get a paycheck, but you start taking small siphons of that money and investing it in something that's going to grow in spite of your own efforts, ladies and gentlemen, now you have equity and stuff. Now you have good debt. You have debt that's going to generate capital for you in spite of your own efforts. Because when you go out and you invest in a piece of real estate that has tenants in it, whether it's a single family home, whether it's a multifamily complex, whether it's a 4-plex, whether it's an 8-plex, 16-plex, 32-plex, 100-plex, doesn't matter. There's money coming in. Whether you go out and you invest in a piece of land, you build a house, and you may generate capital, or whether you go in and you buy a small retail center, it doesn't matter. Any cash-producing multi-unit real estate is going to give you equity in something. So as the federal government continues to print money, which is the day and age that we're in, right? We're seeing hyperinflation. Our federal government is going out and they're just pumping out money and pumping out money and printing money. Why would you save money if they're printing it all over the place? I don't save money. What we do is we go in and we deploy money. We invest capital. And we take our money and we invest it into equity, into assets that grow in spite of our own efforts. So we take our real estate investments, we go in and we invest in distressed companies and brands, and we go in and put our backing behind these companies, and as they grow, we get paid forever. So instead of going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, feed a man a fish, we go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, teach a man to fish. And if you teach a man to fish, or a woman, you get paid forever. So ladies and gentlemen, the whole goal isn't to give a man a fish for one day, but it's to give a man the ability to fish for a lifetime, their own equity in something that's going to grow in spite of your own efforts, putting it into an asset that grows in spite of your own efforts and in spite of what we do day in, day out to pound our heads against a wall and work. So that same $100 and that same $800 I used to carry in my pocket, ladies and gentlemen, is irrelevant anymore in this day and age. You got to build equity in something that's going to grow. And real estate is where it's at.